Scenes and language may offend some viewers, and discretion is advised.
I believe in you. All you need is some hope. Hope in your soul.
Well, look at this. It started as a political demonstration and now it's a very different kind of arresting site. Hi, swingers. I'm Bob Down and welcome to the 20th anniversary Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras Parade. It's a record-breaking night. I don't know about you, but I feel like going crazy and letting my hair down. Well, let's not go that far. There are 750,000 people out there. They're straining at the barriers for nearly 300 entries and more than 7,000 parade participants. It's by far the biggest thing Sydney's seen. It's bigger than Ben-Hur. And I've even heard that Ben's out there somewhere, but who could find him? Or her? Now, helping me guide you through this night of celebration will be a galaxy of stars, guests and surprises. Think Danny, think Kylie, don't touch that dial. But first up, one of the leading lights of those early liberating times and someone who's still out there. Hello, Julie McCrossan.
Hello.
You're a 78er and you've got the sash to prove it.
I've got the sash to prove it, I've got a photo to prove it.
You were there.
I was there, I've got a gorgeous image of an arrest outside St Mary's Cathedral.
No.
You can't go wrong.
You weren't in a religious order, were you?
I just was working closely with a New South Wales police officer to move the Catholic Church forward.
And speaking of 78, Julie, here they are, the first float. It's the lead float, the anniversary float, the 20th anniversary float.
And there are hundreds of my friends from that period.
Oh, we weren't sure how many people were going to show up, but we've had a rather good turnout.
Oh, I reckon they've had 300 or 400 women. There's the woman who runs the feminist bookshop in Sydney. Always good to see.
In fact, I think probably there's... sometimes I suspect there might be more people, than actually, more people say they were there than were actually
no,
there.
it's been extremely strict.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
You were there. What were you doing?
I was involved in bailing people out at Darlinghurst Police Station after the 53 arrests.
Right.
And I must say, to look at this happy mob 20 years later, you'd never realise how violent it was.
Julie, now, can we just join someone who's actually can't stay still? He's down there. In fact, he's going to be crashing the floats all night. He's swinging like a gate. He's even more retro than me, if that's possible. He's down there with them. It's Maynard.
Yes, pop stars, we're on the street here with Kimberly, one of the original 78ers, one of the people who were marching in the first Mardi Gras parade 20 years ago. Did you ever think it'd grow into this?
Not in a million years, Maynard. It's a dream come true.
What was the atmosphere like in the first one? Like it was a fear, wasn't it?
It was terrifying, and in the last 20 years, we've had enormous gains, wonderful victories, but there's still lots of battles to be won, so we can't be complacent.
Well, good luck to you and happy Mardi Gras.
Happy Mardi Gras.
20 years.
Oh, absolutely, Maynard. 20 years. Now, these people...
Well, what they're trying to do, Bob, I think, is to capture just how poorly we dressed 20 years ago.
Oh, I see. They're 1978 style clothes. I don't know, they look pretty smart to me.
Well,
they're big platforms. They're big platform shoes.
I know kids are wearing these clothes again today, but I reckon they were horrific, and I thank the drag queens for lifting the lesbian game on glamour.
Do you think if you wore them the first time around, I think you're disqualified from wearing them the second time?
I think so,
frankly.
too.
Doesn't seem to stop people.
Here we are with the float representing the judicial system, those curls representing the judge.
This is the Piggy Wolfie monster on it with the judge's wig.
Yes, the simple Piggy Wolfie
He's
monster.
controlled by the establishment, and look at these people.
Yes, this is a group representing the old relationship with the New South Wales Police Force. That check, of course, was what the cops used to wear.
And naked.
Miss Piggy said make cops into chops, and I did agree with it 20 years ago. And of course, I don't now.
Look like the checks that the police used to have on their hats in New South
Lovely
Wales.
touch to put the flashing blue light on the crutch, I thought.
Absolutely. Back to the fab flag flyers.
Yes, this man got his revenge for being rejected by marching boys, and now they're waving their blue flags.
The silver colour is the traditional colour for the 20th anniversary, of course.
It is hilarious. Oh, now, this is interesting. This is meant to represent the future, I think, a sort of a balancing act, equality.
Of course.
And that's just simple, understated costumes.
Seesaws and seesaws and acrobats symbolising the future and the idea that balance equals equality, as you
Yes,
say.
of course, so many of us have children these days. It's good to get the seesaw element in there. Now, these costumes are slightly large for the Sydney Mardi Gras. This is obviously a more conservative group.
That looks like it might be the marching boys, doesn't it?
I think so. It's that gorgeous, sweaty male flesh. It's what all those international tourists come to see.
The marching boys are unbelievable. They're a bit of a, well, they're a tradition here in the Gras.
And the waving of the rainbow flag, of course, an international symbol. I went to San Francisco a couple of years ago myself, and you can knock on any door with a rainbow flag and get a cup of tea.
A very old friend of mine was asked to join the marching boys. They're not particularly ageist, but you just have to be in shape. And I said to my friend, darling, why not while you've still got your figure?
Did you notice, Bob, that one of those chaps has got a Barbie doll stuffed into his shorts?
Well, he probably needs, some of them have got quite a few things stuffed into their shorts, actually, shall we say. Oh, here we are, the marching flags.
Yes, marching flags. A chance to take off their shirts and have a hot night.
Madam Butterfly.
Representing the love of opera by so many gay and lesbian people in Sydney.
Absolutely. Isn't that a beautiful costume?
Didn't this lass try to come in last year and couldn't lift the cosy?
Something like that happened. Let's go down to Maynard and see what else is happening on the street.
I'm here with Paul, who's proudly marching as a gay porn star tonight, aren't you?
Right, I'm here from America. It's my first time marching in the parade, and it's an incredible experience.
Come on, how's it shape up compared to the San Francisco Gay Pride Parade?
This is much bigger and a lot more fun. They're very political in San Francisco, but here everyone's just out to have a good time, and it's an amazing experience.
You pumped up for the night?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's the best party in the world.
I can see his
and
shorts.
I've been to all of them.
He's pumped up. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
I spoke to a porn star.
He was, of course, was part of Ken's camper. Apparently the only thing camper than Barbie is Ken.
Look, I'm old-fashioned, Bob, but I find
The
this
jewel in the
conservative.
crown. That crown is equivalent to 4 layers. Giant cards imported from somewhere.
They're from the United States, and I think it took 9 days to make each individual card.
He's won 3 times the best costume. Patriotic puff, glow mesh handbag, and mirror reflecting.
Now, this would be a very interesting, muscular sort of a float.
This is on a scale that's pretty huge, isn't it?
We've got a lot of butterflies. Have you noticed that?
First of all, let's throw to a charming party hostess, someone who's mixing with the people on the street. She's a raconteuse, she's a Jag denim supermodel. Well, she's Vanessa Wagner. Come in, Vanessa.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Vanessa Wagner here. I've had my hair set rock hard. I'm in a stunning patio frock, and I'm here with 1 million or so of my favourite friends at the Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras, the 20th anniversary. And I've got a crowd behind me here, a street down here, and a pink tower. What more could I want?
I must say that Vanessa represents to me the true spirit of our Australian nation. And I hope to see Vanessa on our new flag once we're a republic.
I think it's inevitable. It really is. The Melbourne Marching Boys.
They seem to have their private members in little pouches with rainbow
Absolutely.
tops.
That's a very full plane we're talking about, isn't it? This is their 3rd year celebrating the male body. Well, if you've worked that hard, why not do it?
I think we're looking at Trannywood now, and
Trannywood. Hooray for Trannywood.
it's one of my dreams, of course, to go to Dollywood, and I hope we've got someone with generous breasts on this particular float.
Sure we have. We've got Bella Lugosi, we've got Valentino, Gloria Swanson, Mae West, and more.
And Trannywood, of course, is representing transgender community services for people who, have a bit of everything involved in their identity.
Gender issues, as we call them. They also provide HIV support. The Gender Centre wants to take part in Mardi Gras because it's a major event of a community they feel part of. There's so many marching boys, they do mix one into the other a little bit, don't they? There's a lot of rehearsal goes. These people, they rehearse for weeks.
I just wish I had some stomach muscles, Bob, because I'd like to look as good as these guys.
And by the time these boys have danced all their way up to the top of Flinders Street, they'll have 6 packs, Julie.
Mate, they'll only be just warmed up for the party.
It is the Melbourne Marching Boys again. There's so many marching boys, as I say, dear old Bob's getting confused. Let's go down to Maynard.
And I'm with Matrix Lesbian Organisation. What message is Matrix trying to get across tonight?
It's about special housing for older lesbians. because ordinary retirement villages and stuff are not for us, because they're usually church run and they're not appropriate. We want special places of our own.
Well, would this be the reconciliation group? Because they do appear to have hands, which of course represents reconciliation all over this country. This, of course, is a group that John Howard is yearning within his soul to support wholeheartedly.
Is it?
Oh, yes. Although they may not utterly share his position on the WIC legislation.
They're leading a truck carrying a big windmill with hands for sales and also a goanna.
And each of these hands, of course, representing support for Aboriginal people in their ownership of native titles.
They're spraying the crowd with eucalyptus oil, and I think, well, it must be very refreshing because it's slightly warm in Sydney tonight.
And a brave group of Aboriginal Indigenous people.
Do you know the first Aboriginal float was in 1988, which is interesting, as a response to the bicentennial.
And I think still...
Let's go, Julie, down to Vanessa.
Who else is here? Darling, you having a good time?
Yes.
How old are you?
9.
9 years of age. Have you ever seen anything like this before in your life?
Yes.
Here last year.
Yep.
And are you having a beautiful, beautiful time?
Yes.
What do you think of my hairdo? Is it high enough?
Yep.
I hope so.
Wet Girls Wave Warriors, the lesbian surfers.
Are there many lesbian surfers in Australia?
I don't know. We've yet to find out. We're finding out every day or every week more and more since we rock up out of the woodwork. It's great.
Well, I can see you're all out here in force tonight.
Yeah.
Show us your outfit. Let's have a look here. Look at that. Very special. Well, hang 10. See you later, Tanya.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Oh, look, here come the
Julie,
giraffe.
thank you so much for joining us. You're an expert on it, darling. But what can I say?
Have
Thank
a
you so
lovely
much.
evening, Bob. Thank
You're
you.
watching the 20th anniversary Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras Parade. We're going to take a break. Welcome back to the 20th anniversary Sydney Gay Lesbian Mardi Gras Parade. Well, joining me now is my next guest. She's a freelance journalist. She specialises in the arts. She starred in Puberty Blues. She's one of the team who devised the original Strictly Ballroom. Hi, Nell Schofield.
Hi, how are you, Bob?
Good, darling. We know each other, of course.
We do. We worked together back in
We
85.
did. In 86 at Kinsella,
86,
Globos and all that. Oh,
The year I became a member of Mardi Gras, 86.
absolutely. What have you been doing this year, too? You've been involved in Out FM.
Oh, yeah, I've been doing some readings on Out FM, a fantastic community radio station. Oh,
Look at
what
this
have we got
now.
here?
This is simply the best. I think we know who that represents, quite frankly. Two teams of footy players, here they are, doing choreographed moves in the colour of South Sydney and East. Real girls are following these boys, believe it or not.
Real girls?
Goalposts running along.
I like the sound of those wave warriors that were on before.
Absolutely. Yes, those gals, you might get along to one of their meetings, I think.
Yeah.
That's right, their previous entries were in 94,
Oh,
Go
bottoms.
West.
Bottoms.
95,
Shut your eyes, Bob.
they had YMCA. And 96, they were Sailors in Sydney. Here we are, we have a classic scrum situation with a very interesting variation.
Oh, wow.
The Mardi Gras letters.
20 years of Mardi Gras.
This is a tradition. These kids, they go up and down. They
20
spell
years.
out the word Mardi Gras.
Yes, the Mardi Gras words, or the letters, are original, aren't they?
Yes.
And they've added the 20 years of onto the front of it. So this is the start of the retro section, isn't it?
Absolutely. Now, let's go down and see what Maynard's up to.
Okay, what is that?
And some people don't want to march on their own. They want to bring their family with you. Who's with you here tonight?
Oh, my daughter Rosie and my son Adrian. My two big boys are watching as well.
No, it's just a normal night out for the family, hey?
Absolutely family night out. Wonderful night.
What's it like for you marching in front of a couple of 100,000 people on Boxer Street?
The best thing to do. It's a wild experience, and it's Adrian's birthday too.
Well, regards to the family.
These, I believe, have been designed by Philippa Playford in 1992 when
Right.
she was a workshop artist.
How's that right? Let's go down to Vanessa.
And here we have Philippa Playford, one of the most talented and creative lesbians in Sydney. Philippa, what have you come as tonight?
Well, the title of my costume is called I Don't Care If It Rains, It's Still My Parade. And it's sort of a tribute to all the wet years of Mardi Gras, which I thought was just a fitting sort of tribute for a lesbian to make.
Fantastic. Well, I've scotch-guarded my entire body, and of course it hasn't rained, so let's have a fabulous dry Mardi Gras. Thank you, darling.
Oh, Philippa's, one of her costumes is actually at the Powerhouse Museum.
It is.
Cowdyke.
They only touch it with white gloves these days.
That's right. She's created her own costume. Here we go, the Lesbian Brides. The Lesbian Brides down to Maynard with them.
Oh, here we are in the middle of a wedding. It's so romantic. Tell me, as one of the Lesbian Brides, have you found yourself a wife tonight yet?
I brought my wife with me, but Mardi Gras is about as close to a white wedding as I'm ever likely to get, so I'm here mainly for the white goods.
Okay, well, I hope you get some good presents.
I will, thank you.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, it's the Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras marching boys, and they're dancing, exciting, to Kylie this year.
Oh, fab.
They did her something. I did mention Kylie. She said hello, and we're going to be seeing her during tonight's broadcast. There's 60 boys in tall hats with feathers, little tiny Speedos. What else would you wear? With straps around their necks, and they're all in the different colours of the rainbow. And of course, it looks like a big rainbow flag in formation. And they're dancing to Kylie this year. We've got something now. A big part of this year's parade, of course, is looking back on the best of the floats over the last 20 years. And look what we've got here. Pauline Hanson.
Do you think we'll ever see Pauline in a Chong Sam? I think she looks quite good in one.
It could happen.
She looks good
She
there.
actually did appear last year.
Yeah?
She was chasing little fish and chips up the street, and this year she's chasing Pauline Hanson down. Screen Queens. We've had Tranny Wood, and now we've got the Screen Queens.
Oh, and following hot on its heels, HIV living.
Screen Queens is interesting, though. It's Hollywood icons, people that have had huge appeal to the gay and lesbian community from Hollywood.
Doris Day.
People who've been rumoured to be a little bit
James Dean.
on the other team.
Keanu Reeves, I saw there.
Whoa. Well, they're icons as well, you see.
Beautiful Marlena, Marilyn, Rob, Elizabeth.
Absolutely. 1.5 metre letters. They first appeared 4 years ago. This is the section of the parade which is recapping some of the greatest hits.
Now, this is a really interesting...
Now, this is interesting, the HIV monster.
This was designed by David McDermott in 92, was it?
I think it could be.
And it's reclaiming... It's sort of based on a Mexican Day of the Dead icon.
David is a legend of Mardi Gras. He was the artistic director of the Mardi Gras workshop in the very early 1990s. Him, Peter Tully, Doris Fish, they really created the legend of Mardi Gras that we know today. The big, bold, graphic thing, the eye-catching thing, the bold, big statement.
And the camp humour.
The camp humour, exactly.
Took it beyond the political.
That's a beautiful, beautiful thing, isn't it? David's art was very much in this style, very bold graphic using day-glow colours.
Yeah,
let's go down to Vanessa.
Look who the hell I've got here. It's Miss Powderpuff herself, and she's sensibly wearing her cosmetics. How are you tonight, darling?
Oh, look, I'm so wow.
You are wearing your stuff. Now, are you going to apply makeup throughout the parade?
Well, I thought it'd be sensible, but what I've done, I've actually put a shellac over the top so it won't move.
Fantastic. So you're
sensible.
You're very sensible. You're very gorgeous. Can I just do a bit of a puff slam with you? Oh, she's clean, I tell you. It's fantastic. Bye, darling.
Here's Fred's head, Nell.
Fred's head on a platter.
Oh.
We saw Philippa Playford earlier on, and she said that she was commemorating the wet years. There have only been 4, and Fred has prayed for rain every year, but 4 out of 21 ain't bad.
This, as we know, caused absolute uproar the year it appeared.
Oh, now this is absolutely fabulous. Patsy, how are you?
We're fabulous, sweetie.
Now, why is Patsy such an icon to the gay and lesbian community?
It's our lifestyle, and we look fabulous.
You look great. Look, do a bit of a spin for us. Look at
Tonight we're out to break the Guinness World Record of how many Patsies you can fit into one car, and I think we're doing...
Okay, we'll get your heels and hop in.
Thank you, sweetie. Bye-bye.
Patsy, fabulous.
We were talking about Doris Fish, the legend of Mardi Gras, and this is Doris's Fishmobile now.
Look at those lips on the front.
Absolutely. Doris was an incredible, she was a legend, and she moved from Sydney to San Francisco in the 70s, became a legend there. There's a Doris Fish Day in San Francisco. Here we are, the Metropolitan Community Church. This is a very important float.
Yes, this entry is proclaiming and celebrating the goodness of gay and lesbian sexuality. And the MCC has put entries in Mardi Gras over the last 6 or 7 years, and this year it's celebrating its 30th year worldwide. It's in 18 countries. It's been in Australia since 1974, and it's the largest gay and lesbian organisation in the world.
Nell, thank you so much for coming along.
Thanks.
Sweaty work, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's really hot and sticky up here.
Fabulous dress.
Fabulous pants. Has
Thanks,
anyone
honey
seen
bun.
these
Bobby Brady.
flares?
Let's go to a break and we'll see you back after these messages.
We can make it happen.
One of the more controversial entrants in this parade has been the gay and lesbian police liaison officers. What do they do? What do you all do?
We're at every station in the state, and we're there for the gay and lesbian community. If they have any problems and they feel a bit hesitant with dealing with police, to come and see us. That's what they're with.
You hear from the crowd, you'll certainly appreciate it tonight.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Maynard. Something very exciting now. My next guest in the studio, she's got an album out already called Girl. She's got a new single coming out next month. She's going to be on tour with the arena production of Grease. Who else? Danny Minogue.
Hi,
how are you, darling?
I'm really good. I'm so excited. This is the first Mardi Gras that I've ever been in Australia for.
No.
Yeah, being in London all the time now, this is my first time to enjoy the event, and I'm just like so excited.
You have picked a bumper year, may I say.
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh, no doubt Carly's told you all about it. She's done the odd performance at the party over the years.
Everybody, all my friends were saying they couldn't believe I hadn't been.
Look at this, Danny. This is the Sydney Gay Lesbian Mardi Gras marching dress.
I'm watching this and I'm thinking my parents are on the top of the building watching, and they're just having a ball, loving it.
They're dressed in the traditional sort of tranny and drag wear of the Stonewall era. You've heard about Stonewall, which was the famous bar in New York City where, well, the police used to raid it really regularly. And one night, the night that Judy died in June 1969, Judy Garland, they decided that they'd had enough. They had one raid too many, and they picked up rocks and sticks and started throwing them back. And this is what this float, these marches are representing, is to commemorate that event, which is heralded as the beginning of the gay rights movement. And sort of, in a way, there was a bit of a carnival atmosphere in the middle of all these riots in the village in New York. Isn't that wild?
It's amazing to be reflecting on how it all started.
Well, you think of those places in New York, which I'm sure you've been to, the village and like Soho in London. They have such a carnival atmosphere now, don't they?
Yeah.
And there's such a comfortable feeling when you go to these places. And it's funny to think that
I can't imagine what it would have been like. I'm so glad to see the police are marching this year. Not dragging
Here are the
people
bears.
away.
The bears of Australia. Now, Dan, do you know what a bear is?
No, I don't.
Well, as Vanessa says, it's men who are in pursuit of her suit. It's men who are a little bit overweight and a little bit hairy, and that's just the way they like it. Because let's face it, we live in an era where everybody's a bit obsessed with waxing.
Yes, I'm sure all the beauty parlours have been chock-a-block this week.
Well, not these boys. There you go. You've got the feel, haven't you, just by watching them. Now, isn't it true that
I think it's an international event now.
It's the one thing people in London and Britain associate with Sydney. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do. But I mean, I was on a flight coming out here for this, and it was chock-a-block full of people coming back to see the parade. So it's very much an international thing now. And even though they have the New York Gay Games there, they all talk about Sydney.
They do, and it's the one thing they want to come and see.
Yeah.
You're in pursuit of pursuit, and you are the Sydney Bears, aren't you?
Well, we're from all over Australia. I'm from Sydney, but they're from all over Australia. They represent all over the world. We've got Canada, the US of A, people from Europe, all over the world.
And basically you're saying don't shave it, don't pluck it, don't depilatate.
No way.
Be proud of your hair, and especially on this night. Darling, thank you.
You're welcome. Happy Mardi Gras.
You too.
Planet Wollongong. A 32-member dance troupe dressed in rainbow lap-laps with a rollerblading drag queen on top. Dan, let's go down and see what Maynard's doing.
You wouldn't think of Wollongong as being one of the great gay centres of Australia, but it is. Just check out this. All the people, they're marching from Planet Wollongong. What's the gay scene like in Wollongong, jewel of the south coast of New South Wales?
Oh, it's absolutely superb in Wollongong. We have a great time. There are lots of people there who would love to come out, and we're here to provide that support for them.
You normally get a sweaty. Is this in Wollongong?
Yeah.
Can I just rub your nipple? That was fun.
That was fun?
Danny, the spirit's affecting everybody. I think Maynard could be on the turn, quite frankly.
He could be. I've known Maynard for a long, long time. And his recent addition to his wardrobe, his gold lame suit, I was thinking, that came out of the
50
closet.
million gold lame suits can't be wrong, as that Elvis cover said. You getting to the gong with your Grease tour?
Yeah.
Yeah? I hope so.
Yeah. A lot of preparation to do for that, so I hope everybody comes and sings all of those classic songs.
You've been working a lot over in Britain too, though. You've been doing TV presenting, Big Breakfast and all that.
Yeah, and just a lot of concerts, a lot of shows. Yeah. And then I'll be going back to London and we'll have our Pride celebration there around June, July.
Right. Do you think you'd like to end up on stage at Mardi Gras Party one year?
I think so. I think tonight I'm going to be doing that.
Oh, really?
I've got my sequence ready.
You heard it first. Here we go. Jason and the Argonauts. Oh, yes. The Sydney Sailing and Cruising Club is Sydney's gay and lesbian sailing club. There's even a gay and lesbian sailing club, Danny.
I've seen them. I've seen the gay cruise billboards, mainly in America.
2010. This is very important, 2010. Absolutely. This is, do you know about 2010?
Tell me about
2010
it.
turns 16 years old in December. It's the Lesbian and Gay Youth Organisation. It's a very, very important organisation. It was founded by some concerned individuals and social worker types. They couldn't understand why there were so many young and destitute gay and lesbian people around Darlinghurst when there were so many charity organisations in the area. And they found that gay and lesbian young people, especially those just in the process of coming out, were very reluctant to talk to people about their issues and concerns. Maynard, I think, might be down there.
Don't hang on, partygoers. Get on the bus. I'm on the 2010 bus here, representing youth. Now, what is the biggest youth issue in Australia at the moment? What's the biggest problem?
Acceptance. Being accepted by your peers.
And tolerance, yeah, being tolerated by people, you know. Like we're just the same as you and the guy next to you, you know what I mean?
Tonight, you're on a bus.
Yes, that's my bus.
Oh, this is my stop. See you later. Bye.
It's hard for kids, isn't it? You can imagine being a kid and well, feeling different from other people.
A lot of my friends have told me about it, and I'm sure they would love to have something like that now.
Yeah. The Frank Arenas are coming up. This is the, I don't know, have you been to overseas and not heard about the Frank Arena controversy?
No, I don't
a very controversial member of New South Wales State Parliament. And she's had all sorts of trouble over the last year. And this is the Mardi Gras sponsored the entry we had to have. Last year was their first year for this group of friends. They were the Romance Barbara Cartmans. This year, they're the Frankers. They chose Franca because she seems to get very confused, they feel, about the difference between homosexuality and pedophilia. You see that we've got some very heavy stuff been going down with the Royal Commission. And number two, the second reason, she has a fabulous look for drag. Now, here's another controversial one, Danny, and you'll probably be struck dumb by this too. John Howard, Lord of the Flies. Whoops a daisy.
Hi, John.
It's a large garbage truck with trash can drummers on it. In front there's a banner. On the side is a sign saying queer trash. And following is a giant maggot with John Howard's face surrounded by people dressed as blowies. I think they're saying something here.
I think that's a very strong message.
They're describing it as the filthiest entry in the parade.
Well, there we go.
There they are, banging on that. I always think Stomp's got such a lot to answer for. There's that giant maggot. Here we are, the Brisbane Rainbow Warriors. You ever felt like getting back up on the back of a truck and bopping up the street, Jenny?
I think it would be quite exhausting. I take my hat off to everyone who's in the parade.
I tell you what, this lot have done very well. They've been in the parade 4 times. They won the best out-of-town float in 1996. They just want to represent a positive image of gay and lesbian life in Brisbane. Not all is dull in the Sunshine State.
Actually went there recently and it was fantastic.
Yeah,
it was really beautiful.
Let's go back down to Maynard.
Marching along with the Amazon Archers here in Prue. What's your message for everyone watching tonight?
Well, Amazons traditionally were women who cut up one breast so that they could aim better, and we're trying to portray a better image for lesbians with breast cancer. It's a frightening, isolating, terrifying time in your life, but I just want people to know that other lesbians with breast cancer, they're not alone. They've still got a community and they've still got something to celebrate.
Thank you, Prue.
Isn't that fantastic?
Letting it all hang out.
Well, the thing about it is that it's a night of fun, but they get some very, very serious messages across.
Yeah.
Reach for the stars. Reach for the stars is the name of this float. It's a truck with clouds and a moon suspended above it. As it's only their second time in the parade. Last year, they're from Tassie. They were the Tassie Temptations last year. They had such a good time. They just had to come again. Dan, what can I say?
Thank
it's a thrill
You're
to meet
doing
you.
A fantastic
Thanks,
job.
darling, and thank you so much for coming and being part of it all.
Thank you.
Danny Minogue. We'll take a break and we'll see you very soon. You're watching the 20th anniversary Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras Parade. I'm Bob Down and I'm joined in the studio by a very special guest. She's the Deputy Leader of the Australian Democrats, South Australian Senator Natasha Stockley-Spoyer.
Good evening.
Good evening and welcome.
Happy Mardi Gras.
Thank you, darling. We were talking about the Democrats float.
Indeed.
What was the slogan?
Keep the bastards glamorous. We're trying to keep them honest too, but glamorous.
Honest and glamorous. I think it's a good combination.
Oh, yes.
I think I find it's a bit of a rare one in life.
Don't know if it sums up the Parliament either, just quietly.
Is it a very glamorous life in Canberra?
I don't think it's glamorous, and I don't think the members of Parliament that we would consider ourselves too glamorous. So at least once a year we are.
Speaking of glamour, look at this. The fairies and jesters.
Ah.
They're gay and happy. Obviously don't spend too much time in Canberra.
They're down the bottom of the garden.
They're from Michigan in the USA. Absolutely. It's the Milk Boys tribute to Harvey Milk. Harvey Milk, of course, was a leading gay San Francisco politician who unfortunately was assassinated while he was in office. He was known as the mayor of Castro Street.
I'll be lucky we don't have, up to any degree, the same kind of intolerance or political violence here. In fact, a lot of people have just been saying tonight, isn't it wonderful that you can have police in different community groups marching without violence and entertainment? It's wonderful.
Fantastic. Interesting costumes here. That's the Gays into History. Now this is interesting. They're historical figures representing gay and lesbian historical figures from around the world. Valentino, Marie Antoinette, Florence Nightingale, that's an interesting one. Noel Coward, Oscar Wilde, Richard the Lionheart, Louis XIII, Alexander the Great, Tchaikovsky. It's a group called Helix.
I'm here with Jenny. Jenny, what a costume!
That is a costume.
All your beautiful pinwheels. The pity there isn't a good stiff breeze to blow up your skirt.
If I had a stiff breeze, I'd fly the rest of the parade.
How long did it take you to make this?
About 3 or 4 months.
And I've got to ask you, have you got a headache yet?
I haven't yet, but I think I will have in about another kilometre.
Take those aspirin, see you.
Here we go, a fairy go round.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Oh, and isn't she gorgeous?
Legs up on Oxford Street. And look, when I was a kid, we were told not to play on a Hills hoist, were you?
I'm sure we were all told that, but did it stop us?
Let's go down, Natasha, and see what Vanessa's up to.
Oh, look, I've got the queer Irish people here, I think, are at Skinner's. Of course, they were kicked out of the St. Patrick's Day parade in New York, but they're here. How's it going, darling? Is it good to be queer and Irish?
Great to be queer and Irish.
Oh, how fantastic. And do you do this very often?
First time.
First time in 20 years. Have a gorgeous parade, darling.
I will too, you too.
Oh, I'm coming over all Guinnessy.
Vanessa, that's 18 guys dancing around their Guinness. Isn't that fantastic? The Irish have come. Here's the gay chorus, the San Francisco, I think we'll find. They are fantastic. Yes, the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus. It's their first time in Sydney, Natasha.
Well, I heard them sort of warming up. They were rehearsing before the parade began, and quite dulcet tones. As I was walking through the streets of Sydney, they're marvellous.
Maynard's, I think, is down on the street. We might be with them.
You're with the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus, and you're dancing to some ABBA music here tonight.
Yes, it's our new album, Extravaganza.
And how does the Extravaganza here in Sydney compare to the Gay Pride in San Francisco?
This is fantastic. It's twice as big, twice as loud, twice as many people.
Just like you. See you later.
Here we go, International Exotic Blossoms of Fiji.
They don't quite look like blossoms, do they?
Let's go down to Vanessa with Lady Di.
I cannot believe it. I have Princess Diana here. Princess Diana was at the side impact support system that was in the Mercedes that allowed you to survive.
Oh, I went in another car out the back, as you know, and after I got out the back, we actually went in the completely other direction.
So all the rumours are wrong. We have no idea what's going on. You just went out the back door, so to speak, and you're alive and kicking here in Sydney, Australia.
Don't believe the media, that's all I can say.
I never have, I never will, darling. Have a happy 20th anniversary. Ciao.
Diana with a very unusual companion there, Eva Peron.
Oh, indeed.
A political woman from history.
Yes, I don't think she was a Democrat, but not an Australian Democrat, obviously.
Certainly not. There we go, the exotic blossoms of Fiji. Oh, it's the first time a Fijian organised group has entered Mardi Gras. Isn't that great that they've come from Fiji? The Pollies. Do you know about the Pollies?
Not the Pollies that I know, but...
Yes, the Pollies that you know are a very different bunch from this Pollies. The Pollies are Sydney's oldest established gay social group. And there's such a tradition here at Mardi Gras. This is their float this year, and the theme is, guess what? Think pink.
Think pink?
Think pink. Not hard to guess, is it?
No.
A couple of Pollies members were actually on the front lines in 1978, including Gary Trotter, who's here tonight. And he received an AIDS Day award this year for helping people with HIV. The oldest gay social club in Australia, not only Sydney, 35 years old this year. Well, there's always a bit of an ancient Rome feel.
Yes.
Cradle of democracy.
Of course, very senatorial. I like that.
Absolutely.
Maybe that wasn't so senatorial, but...
It's been around for ages, as they say. A truck with a Roman Greco slave auction scene. We've got a chariot with a statue horse, and inside the chariot is Alexander the Great with his boyfriend, Natasha.
Oh, really?
Proud and gay and here to stay.
Didn't study that in history, but...
There's a lot of things they don't tell us about history.
Indeed. They look like they're having fun.
Sunshine Holly Gaze, the Noosa Sun Coast. A 3-ton truck with 10 people on it depicting the many things to do on the Sunshine Coast of Queensland. Caesar's nightclub. More slaves, Natasha. What are we trying to say here?
I'm not quite sure what we're saying.
What we're saying is it's good to be free.
I'd like to think that's the spin we'll put on it. We're celebrating our freedom and our diversity in this country.
Here's a gym. Again, the gyms are getting in on the action as well. The fabulous flying bags from FitX Gym. Say that 3 times, turn around and spin. The fabulous flag flying bags. Oh, wow, what a good time to thank my special guest, Senator Natasha.
It's a pleasure.
Dr. Smoyer.
It's a lot of fun.
Good to meet you. Thanks for coming along tonight.
Happy Mardi Gras.
You too, darling.
Enjoy.
And we'll be back after these messages.
Oh, spice up your life, and while you're at it, tile up your bathroom as well. I'm here with the Spice Queens. Hey, girl power.
Girl power!
What? Hey, what do you want? What do you really, really want? Yeah, but Emma always says it. Yeah, she's the noisy one.
Lots of money. It's you. We want you.
Okay, well, I'm going to have a bit of a chat with these girls. Catch you later. Oh, if you want to be my lover.
Maynard with one group of legends to another legend sitting with me now. I don't need to introduce this girl because we've already heard about 6 of her records floating past. It's Kylie.
Hi.
How are you, darling?
Good, how are you in your pink colours?
Ah, look, we feel like one of the Teletubbies in here, don't we? Happy Mardi Gras.
You too.
Now, I know it's not your first.
No, I was here in '94.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I'm so glad to be back.
You performed at the party that year, didn't you?
Yeah.
I was there, and I saw that little red dress. I knew it was you, babe. Did you get to the parade that year?
Yeah, I sneakily was on the roof just before, which was the best. I mean, no glass, no nothing, and it's been fantastic.
Oh, brilliant. Look at this. The New Zealand boys are here.
New Zealand boys.
The
I love
hero.
the ones. It's got lots and lots of boys in it. They're so
The
fun.
New Zealand marching boys. We've got a lot. Marching boys are just, it's a phenomenon that's just growing and growing, isn't it? 40 marching boys in construction worker theme and pom-poms. It's their first year here.
Aww.
They're lucky to have grown out of all.
Boys.
Now from New Zealand to the Central Coast. The Pirates of Paradise, Carly. They're from the Central Coast. It's the Gay and Lesbian Social Club on the Central Coast. How do you are a gay icon, Dol. When did you sort of first realise? When was the first dawning realisation?
Probably slightly before Mardi Gras last time, but when I did Mardi Gras years ago, it was just, I've never had a night like it. I mean, that was just an amazing moment to share with everybody and for me to say thank you in the most massive way. So it was, then I thought, this is good.
Oh, wow. It was a very exciting night. I was there in the hall. I saw it. We've got P-Flag here. Now, Carly, this is a very important group. This is parents and friends of lesbians and gays. These are parents with gay children.
Fantastic.
They're out and they're proud and they're here supporting their gay and lesbian sons and daughters. This is the group that always gets the biggest cheer, and it's hard. Well, it's hard not to work out.
Yeah. Mind you, the policemen and women did pretty well.
They did very, very well. We're very pleased to see them.
But this is great. That's really nice.
It's very moving, isn't it?
Have they done this previous years?
Yes, they're here every year. Just married, Kylie. Just married.
Just married.
It's a truck carrying 2 lesbian brides. Do you think, like we said before, do you think they're just in it for the white goods? I don't know. Do you know who's with them too, Kylie? Their mum and dad and their brother and their sister.
A wedding party, of course.
A wedding party. Louise and Corinna have just got married. They got married before the parade.
This happy couple just got married today. How's the wedding?
It is absolutely overwhelming. All of our friends, and these are all of our friends.
It's one hell of a reception.
Oh, you're telling me.
The parents here?
The parents all the way from England. They're so wonderful.
How do you feel tonight in front of this huge?
Fantastic. Yeah, great.
Sitting there looking pretty relaxed.
Not the easy job.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Hope you get some nice white goods.
So do we.
Oh, now Kylie, speaking of parents.
Speaking of parents, my parents are here tonight. It's their first Mardi Gras.
Your mum and dad.
They've been whooping up on the roof, and mum's waving at all the people going by. It's brilliant.
It is incredible. I think there's nothing like your first parade, is there?
Well, even when they took the plane up from Melbourne, they landed and the captain said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sydney, welcome to Mardi Gras, and the whole plane went, yeah! So I think they got an idea of what it might be like.
Mr. and Mrs. Minogue looked at each other and said, something's going on in this town. So you folks will be pretty... are you folks aware that you're a bit of a gay icon? That they've not got one but 2 in the family?
They are, yeah.
That's an embarrassment of riches, isn't it, really?
They're proud as can be. They really are.
Coastal links we have here. This is a rainforest fantasy, Kylie. It's their the group's 4th Mardi Gras entry. They're at Coastal Links as the New South Wales North Coast Gay Social and Community Club. They're North Coast. Oh, from Wollongong. That's where I'm from.
From where?
You think I'd be? They're from around the Wollongong way.
Give them a wave out the window.
Oh, hi guys. Hi. Oh, you think I'd know about them?
Yeah.
I think Mum's probably been tearing up the flies as they come through the letterbox at the Now or Never Caravan Park. They've got 15, they do dances, they do picnics, they do get-togethers. They've got 250 members. Well, I better give them my address, quite frankly. It's the Now or Never Caravan Park, Wollongong. What can I say? Isn't it great that they come from all over the country?
It's brilliant.
Oh, the whale. This is fantastic. It's the gay whale, Kylie. Now, this whale, this is the whale from, this whale used to be at the whale car wash in Mosman on Sydney's lower North Shore.
The whale was saved.
We saved the whale even though it was plastic.
And look, there it is. That's the gay whale everyone's been talking about all these years. Now, it's a bit stupid, an underwater bushwalking club.
Well, it's pretty much in line with the way that we feel about marine conservation. We go down, we leave only bubbles, we don't take any of the wildlife or anything from underwater. It's basically bushwalking, but underwater.
Any diving plan for later tonight?
Well, not underwater, maybe.
Good luck, see you later. One of my favourite divers.
Oh, seriously though, Maynard, 1998 is the International Year of the Ocean, Carly. Isn't that important?
Really?
Carly, we're going to go back down to Vanessa now.
And you are from a rainforest float. Now, I hear in New South Wales we have only 1/10 of 1% of rainforest left. Is that true?
Yes, it is. It is. And on the North Coast, it's worse.
What are we going to do about this?
Have our float.
we are going to all plant a tree every day for the rest of our lives, aren't we? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes for trees. Have a lovely Mardi Gras.
Well, Carly, do you think you could pick up a few makeup and hair tips from Vanessa?
Actually, Vanessa and I are going to meet up later and discuss a few little, tips.
Is that right?
Yes.
Look at this, line dancing. Do you know about line dancing, Carly?
I must say I've never tried it myself, but I do know of it.
Going ding 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 ding. I think a line dancing Carly record would be quite. And in fact, the people on the other side of the petition here are rather excited about them. The Australian line dancers.
I'm loving the cowboys. Any cowboys that go by anywhere.
And what about these sparkly cowboys?
Yeah.
About 30 people boot scooting up the street. The Trackside Youth Service. This is a walking group with a banner, Campbelltown Young Gay, Lesbian, Bisexual Youth Busting the Stereotypes. The kids range from about 14 to 22 years old. They're looking to develop a Western suburbs community. This is their first entry in Mardi Gras, and they're very proud to say that it's the first entry ever to represent Campbelltown.
Fantastic.
People think of Sydney, you see, as being the eastern suburbs around the harbour, but it goes out a long way into the west. And gay and lesbian people are often very underrepresented and, well, they're a forgotten group. We've got a very important thing here, Kylie. It's the remembrance part of the parade. Very important. This is the big heart, the big red heart. The red ribbon ladies. We know what the red. You know what the red ribbon is, don't you?
I do. Bless them.
It's to commemorate everybody who we've lost in this terrible disease. The remembrance part of the parade is very important. It's about celebrating the fight for life with love, commitment, and support. This is again one of the greatest hits float over the years.
Yeah,
Glad to be gay. Plastic, of course, something dear to my heart. And on that sort of serious note, it's a very large part of the parade. I'd like to thank Kylie. What can I say? You're an icon. You're a legend. And it's wonderful to see you looking so cool and relaxed. Let's go to a break. We'll be back with more of the 20th anniversary Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras Parade. Welcome back. Welcome back to the 20th anniversary Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras Parade. A big part of the parade, very important, the theme, as you can see with the big red heart there, remembrance. Remembrance section of the parade is about memorial, respect and celebration. Well, it's a memorial and respect and celebration of the lives that have already been lost to HIV and AIDS, and also respect and celebration for the lives of people living with HIV and AIDS. This is it's pretty important, this one, the Red Ribbon ladies. We just saw them before the break. They're having a great time, but it's a very, very important issue that they deal with, the loss of all those people. Joining me now is a bit of a star. He's a lad. We worked on the arias together. It's Darren Hayes with Savage Garland. Darren,
baby,
welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome to be here.
Oh, I'm just thrilled.
I tell you what, you're on tour?
We're on tour. We've got like 4 shows to do. We just did our 20th performance last night, so we're pretty tired.
How's it going?
Really well. It's been amazing crowds and amazing times.
And like a lot of people in town, you've managed to find time in your busy schedule to come and have a drink with us here.
I just stumbled on in. I thought there was like a movie premiere or something.
Oh, right. You saw some lights coming from the direction of
Famous Teaspoon, saw Kylie Minogue, and thought I'd be here.
You didn't have a little yellow passport, you don't need to when you've had all those. You are doing very well in America.
We're doing okay.
Look at this, Darren. It ain't Ovi to the fat lady sings.
She is.
This is the ACON staff, the AIDS Council of New South Wales. Their staff and volunteers as warriors, holding her 11-metre train in velvet. Have you heard of ACON, Darren?
I have indeed. I think it's a fantastic organisation.
The largest community-based AIDS organisation in Australia. They've been fighting HIV for the past 11 years. The largest provider of care and support services for people with HIV and AIDS. And they run peer education programs and HIV prevention services. And they campaign mainly, they target gay men but others as well.
That is a pretty funky float for a good
Dick
cause.
Van Dyke's on bikes.
What's your serious message behind your costume?
Well, it's certainly a coward way of actually expressing that, you know, people living with HIV and AIDS need their medicine at a time where there's new drugs. We obviously need to send out the message that people are doing well, but the crisis is not over, and basically the government still need to fund us.
Supercalifragilistic-expialidocious. Thank you.
Darren, there's a very serious message that these boys are putting across, which is that ACON fears that a lot of young people are not getting the message about to keep going in safe sex.
It's kind of changed a little, hasn't it? I think, you know, 5 or 6 years ago it was a very important issue, and now it just seems to be a bit more relaxed.
People just, you know, you've got to keep those condoms happening. Here's another very important group, the Bobby Goldsmith Foundation. I'm sure you've heard of them as well.
I've heard of a lot of these people.
They have been providing services for people with AIDS for many years here in Sydney. They're an incredibly important organisation, and Bobby Goldsmith was one of our first gay sporting superstars. Bobby Goldsmith won 17 medals at the very first inaugural gay games in San Francisco in 1982.
And here I am with the representatives of the Luncheon Club. What sort of good does the Luncheon Club do in the gay community?
The Luncheon Club is for people living with and affected by HIV/AIDS. We're about putting food in people's bellies to help them survive. We're about living with AIDS and not dying from AIDS.
You always raise money in a great way too, don't you?
We raise it real hard.
You do, and they're working hard.
Easy.
And you're marching hard tonight too. Happy Mardi Gras to you.
Happy Mardi Gras, baby.
Fantastic. Look at this, Darren. Real people making a real difference. It's amazing what you can do with a truck and a ute, isn't it?
It's minimalistic, but it's working. It says I don't need sequins or fluff, although there are sequins.
Well, look, I'm sorry, Darren. I have to correct you there. We do need sequins. We do need a bit of fluff. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay.
It's the Western Sydney Haven Community Group, and they're a group of positive people and their carers. So we've actually got some people with HIV in the parade. Lust for Life. Lust for Life. The 10th year for the Sydney Sexual Health Centre, the first sexual health centre to enter the parade. And some of them are wearing, some of the people on the float tonight, because it's a bit of a greatest hits parade, as you know, some of them are wearing the condom suits that they wore 10 years ago.
Well, you know, those old frocks can always be pulled down to the closet.
They can, but the condoms might be past their use by.
Yes, yes. Ornamental use only.
They exist to promote sexual health and esteem, and they're representing the 4 seasons. They're one of the first entrants in the Mardi Gras that came from the health department that had its own individual entry. And they're saying that by managing your sex life, you can have a good, fun sex life no matter what level of sexual health you have, as long as you're safe. Keep it safe. Warning, more work ahead. A project providing one-on-one emotional support for people living and or affected by HIV and AIDS. It started in May 1985. Particularly in the early days of HIV in Australia. Positive people were becoming very isolated and marginalised, you can imagine. It was a bit of a plague mentality back then, because the ignorance about the virus.
Have you seen the float with parents of...
That was great.
Yeah, I think that's...
Darren, let's go down to Maynard.
The head representative of the Ankali Project. Look like you're all decked out to do a bit of work. What work has the Ankali Project got ahead of it?
Well, the Ankali Project's been working for the last 12 years supporting people with HIV and AIDS, and I guess our theme tonight is that we've got more work to do. We want to build on the foundation that we've established over the last 12 years.
Well, you look like you're all ready for it. Have a good night of hard work.
Thank you very much.
I'm kind of really amazed, actually, by the amount of people that give their time freely, you know.
There are thousands of people.
It's incredible.
And there are thousands of people who are needed to do it. This group has branches in Sydney, the Blue Mountains, the Illawarra, the Hunter Valley. Illawarra people are marching with ACON this year. 600 volunteers, and there's 250 active at any one time. They've helped 2,500 people over the years, which is quite a large proportion of the actual amount of people that have been affected by HIV and AIDS in Australia. Here's another important, these are all such vital groups. The Albion Street Centre. This is, well, a very important organisation. It's a drop-in centre for people with HIV and AIDS, a treatment centre for people with HIV and AIDS. What's great, I think, Darren, is that these people get a night to remind everybody of the work they're doing, but also to have fun.
I think it's amazing that it is about fun, it's about celebration. It's not looking at the tragedy of AIDS, it's just looking at the celebration of life, which I think is really important. It's amazing.
You grew up in Brisbane, didn't you?
I'm a Brisbane boy.
Now, when was it because of when did you first become aware of Mardi Gras?
Tonight.
Tonight?
Pauline Hanson. She hates it.
Pauline Hanson.
She does.
Now, that's interesting because that was a very controversial float.
It was a very controversial float.
And is that really how you first sort of became aware of the whole thing?
To be honest, I think right from a little child I've always sort of known about it. I have some relatives in the States though, so we always heard about Mardi Gras in San Francisco and things like that. I guess as a teenager I had a lot of friends who were gay. Grew up and moved to Sydney, so big thing.
You're one
big
cool
party.
dude, man.
Well, hey, man.
It's all mixing now, so that's what I love about young people.
Well, it's all mixing and grooving. I'm a groovy guy.
Absolutely. Here's the New South Wales Health. Let's go down to Maynard.
We're here with Andrew Rapshaw, the New South Wales Minister of Health. What's the New South Wales government message tonight?
Very clear. We're very, very important to see we have a tolerant and a very accepting community here. We have a community that celebrates great diversity. And here I am with the Health Department, some 400 officers of the Health Department saying health is for everyone.
Well, we're rocking our boxes off down here, and speaking of boxes, I've got a milk crate here, and some sly people on the black market are selling these crates for $6. Can you believe what's going on?
Thank you, Vanessa. And Darren, thank you so much. Best of luck with the tour.
Thank you, Bob.
You're a big la-di-da in the States now.
Well,
You've dropped in to say hello to us.
We did. We just popped on in.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
You're watching the 20th anniversary Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras Parade, and we'll be back. Look at that, the Chinese women's swimming team. Controversial. Let's go down to Maynard.
Oh, now here's a group of guys that look like they've been testing out their drugs well and truly tonight. Absolutely. Now, you were very popular last year here, and that's why you're back?
Yeah, well, we did synchronise last year, and we thought, being the 20th anniversary, we thought we'd bring China back, because it's the last year, we're all booked into detox clinics after this.
And you're a 70-80, you were here originally 20 years ago.
It was, actually. It's a bit weird.
You still think you'd still be walking half naked up Oxford Street 20 years later?
I don't think I'd stop that.
Oh, mate, and after learning how to shave and having voice-lowering lessons, the team hopes to dissipate into the community and have a normal, fun-filled life like everyone else at Mardi Gras. The Chinese women's swimming team. Very, very muscle-bound. Well, it's been a night of stars here at our Mardi Gras broadcast, and I have to say that I'm very excited. We've gone from Savage Garden to U2. Bono, welcome to the broadcast.
How are you,
man? You did your Sydney concert last night?
Yes, we did.
You know, that was the reason why I couldn't get a cab.
I'm pleased to hear it.
You were the one.
I'm pleased to hear it. That's the job of rock and roll, isn't it, to stop the traffic?
So in a way, were you aware that you were coinciding with another rather largish event?
Yes, well, we were the hors d'oeuvre, it turns out.
You were. And a very
happy
good
to
one.
be so.
A very good start.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what do you think of this? Have you heard about it?
I think it's great. Sydney is, it's one of the great cities of the world. Maybe, the top 5, 6 cities of the world. And you wonder why, why is it? And of course it's the climate and it's the geography of the city. But it's also, I think it's something to do with the fact that the city has a kind of joy about it, an upfulness. And that comes from, in a very macho country, that comes from, I think, a sense of tolerance. And that's how you judge a great society or civilization, is tolerance. And it's beautiful when everything is becoming so homogenized in this, in the world. Everything is becoming the same. It's great to see people celebrate difference.
Diversity.
That's
what
right.
it's all about, especially this year with the 20th anniversary. Look at this, Bono.
Whoa.
Sydney 2002 Gay Games. The Gay Games are going to be in Sydney in 2002. Have you ever heard about the Gay Games? They started off being called the Gay Olympics.
No,
they were started in San Francisco in 1982.
No.
This is the Amsterdam team. The Gay Olympics are held every 4 years. In fact, the 1994 Gay Olympics, the last ones that were held were in New York. There were more competitors than at a real Olympics. This is the Amsterdam team.
Looking very keen, all right?
Absolutely.
Some nice frocks on.
They got that colour happening, that yellow, pretty eye-catching.
Wow.
Oh, they've got an organ grinding situation happening here, which is
there's a lot of grinding.
A queer representation of Amsterdam street organ. The monkeys are grinding the organs.
Lots of organs, lots of grinding. You know what really blew me away was seeing the cops, the law on the streets
Lily
marching.
Law. Well, years ago they were bouncing us on the head.
But I really like the police. I thought they were really. They just looked great.
There's been a bit of controversy about whether
I just think they showed great courage. They had this float, we're here because we care. I thought that was nice.
Yeah. Bono, let's go down to crazy old Maynard.
Oh, and here we are, another family affair entry here. We've got Mum, we've got the boy, we've got the son. Where's Dad gone?
Dad's hidden in the car. He just sort of had his clothes off in a G-string.
Yes, Dad was running around naked and he just had to have a bit of a moment in the car there.
Sure.
What's your message to people who may be coming out and having trouble with their family?
To talk to them and really come out and tell your family and they will support you.
As you've been tonight. Congratulations.
Sure have.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I just got to get off here.
Versace forever. What's your feeling about that?
Well, you know, I'm not such a follower of fashion, but you know, a lot of people I know were very close to Johnny Versace, and they said he was a very kind and generous man.
The gay community, he was a bit of an icon to the gay community, of course.
I think so. I mean,
both for his clothes and I think his style of living.
I mean, it's complicated, isn't it, this whole thing? I mean, I know there's even in the gay community there is discussion about, whether people should be stressing the sameness, and that we're part of a community, or whether they should be expressing this difference and celebrating it.
The trick is to try and strike the balance between the two, maybe. That's true for everybody.
I think so. I think that's what happened. There's a lot of humour, and I think humour is a great weapon.
It is to say something serious.
I think it is,
yeah.
and again, in a really macho society, because Aussies are macho, like Irish people
Absolutely.
are fairly macho.
Well, Sydney's a very Irish town, of course, as you know.
Yeah, too. I love Sydney.
Yeah.
You're very lucky to live here. Do you realise that?
Absolutely. The first time I was out at night on the weekend in Dublin and I saw everybody around the streets going, boo, 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 I thought, I know where they got this from back home in Sydney. Look at this, the Rice Girls. We got a lot of spice themes this year.
I've noticed that. Well,
I'm
a big fan of the Rice Girls.
The Rice Girls, you're a big fan of them?
Yeah, Scary Rice is my favourite.
I like Basmati rice. Let's go down to Maynard.
Oh, I'm here with Happy Ho. Happy Ho, what a fantastic outfit. What does Mardi Gras mean to you?
Mardi Gras is a special night for us, you see. This is a night that we turn all the hurts, the disappointments, the violence against us, the homophobia, and we turn this night into something fabulous, something wonderful. I mean, look at us. Tonight we are better than all those things that try and hurt us. This is what Mardi Gras means to me.
You're saying it loud, you're saying it proud. Happy Mardi Gras!
Yes!
Here's the Cronulla Aztecs. The Cronulla Gay Group has been active for 22 years, organised a lot of social and nighttime events, and they've been in the parade 18 times. Cronulla is on the southern beaches here in Sydney.
Right.
Oh, Lord. 20 years of queers. This is people dressed as the village people: Boy George, Martina, Katie Lang, Elton, Marilyn, Andy, George, Michael, RuPaul, Joan Jett. Most of this group had their first Mardi Gras last year on the Keith Haring float. There was the most beautiful float last year in tribute to Keith Haring, the great pop artist, and they won their small float prize.
Well, in Pop March we have a Keith Haring piece. His estate gave us full cooperation, and we worked with them. We have a piece of Keith Haring animation.
Keith is a legend.
Yeah, he was a legend.
And these people have decided this year to pay tribute to some other gay legends.
Yeah.
Noddy and Big Ears in there as well.
Noddy and Big Ears. Didn't they get into a lot of trouble?
Did.
Didn't Enid get into a lot of trouble for Noddy and Big Ears?
My main memory of Noddy and Big Ears, I remember I had the book where the little sort of forest people, they stripped Noddy and tied him up and left him, danced around him under a tree. Not just similar to what's going on today. Enid had a bit of a camp sensibility, didn't she?
She did. I mean, camp is an amazing thing. It's funny, I couldn't be, in one sense, in my own sexuality, I couldn't be further from here. I'm much more I'm much more inhibited, much more interested in the mystery of it all.
Right.
I love to see people who come from the opposite point of view as myself, giving it loads.
Exactly.
You know, turn it up to 11. I'm too Irish to be in a frock like that.
Oh, that's 20 years of queers. Oh, well, what can we say here? Surf's up. From Byron Bay, not too far from where I come from. The Byron Bay Dykes making waves, Bono. You know, there's been a long tradition, as you say, with the macho culture in Australia. The girls generally used to make the sandwiches and buy the cordial and wax the boards. Not anymore. They're out there on the waves.
Well, they're making some waves tonight.
They certainly are. Out loud and proud lesbians from Byron Bay.
There's people here. I mean, how many people are here tonight?
That we're thinking maybe somewhere between 250,000 and 1 million people.
Wow.
Which it gets bigger every year.
Have you been to the Patrick's Day Parade?
I went to the one in New York. Popped up in the middle of it by mistake. It's huge, isn't it? What's interesting about St. Patrick's Day in New York, as you may know, is that there's been a lot of controversy there as to where the gay groups should.
I know that. I know that.
A real shame.
I don't understand. I really don't understand how people can be so small-minded. This is why Sydney is a great city, and this is a community that's had a lot of grief. This is a community that's had a lot of, you know, travail and to get to where they are, and I guess that's why they're so over the top in celebrating themselves. And
well, the 20th anniversary Mardi Gras continues, and you've had a wonderful tour. You just told me you finished in Sydney on the weekend. Bono, thank you very much for joining us.
Bless you. Really, have a great Mardi Gras, and thanks for looking after us so well. I've got a whole band here that are looking quite bunched.
And the night has only just begun.
Oh,
we'll be back.
And we'll be here.
Thanks, Bono.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Mardi Gras 20th anniversary, and do I have a trifecta of beauties behind me? I hope these girls' hairdos don't exceed the height limitations. How are you all tonight?
Terrific!
She's got lipstick on her teeth, my favourite look. How are you tonight?
I'm fabulous.
Her teeth are clean, and how are you tonight?
Wonderful, thank you.
Oh, you girls are tremendous. My favourite fluoro colours. It's going off, as we say here. I love you all.
Thanks, Vanessa. Going crazy down there, of course, aren't we all? Right now, my special guests are mother and son team, legends of Australian show business and television, Tony Sheldon and Tony Lamont. My two Tonys, and a mother and a son here.
Yes. And this is the first time she's ever seen a parade. So,
no.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because you're always
the
working.
first time I was either working or out of town, and it's a hoot.
It's been lovely to share it.
What about for you,
Well,
Tony?
it's wonderful. I mean, I don't know how many people can bring their mothers to the Mardi Gras parade, but I certainly can. It's been
you're
grand
a
fun.
little
P-flag group.
I have to tell you, there's a sort of fear factor, and I want to say that
There's nothing to be afraid of. Tony, look at this.
You wouldn't be afraid of those men?
I wouldn't be afraid. Look,
Sydney Leather Pride
There's
group.
Brazil, there's New Orleans, and we're surpassing those places.
certainly are.
It is amazing and wonderful. And
Sydney Leather Pride, Tony, is a community gay and lesbian organisation that represents leather and fetish men and women in love and pride.
I'm thrilled for them, but I have them on my seats. But if they want to wear them, that's fine with me. I don't have a problem.
And they wear it with pride.
They certainly do.
This is a walking group of around 300 to 350 people, all wearing their leather and fetish wear, carrying a Sydney Leather Pride banner, and pride flags and banners.
They certainly look cooler than we're feeling now.
On this hot
And
night.
that's being on the warm side.
Yes, yes.
Oh, here we go.
This is
I'm
such
supposed
fun.
to be judging this parade. I'm supposed to be down there judging these floats.
What are you doing here?
Tony, look at this.
City of
Fallen
Fallen
Angels. The City of Fallen Angels. There's been no official float entry representing Adelaide since Toys a Gift to Sydney in 1995, and they thought it was time. And they're playing on the fact that Adelaide is known as the city of churches, and of course they've turned the church into a temple of homosexuality by painting it pink and lavender.
Oh dear.
Now, as we know, South Australia was the first state which decriminalised homosexuality under John Dunstan.
Yes, indeed.
Well, I'm glad they're not throwing them into the torrents anymore.
Exactly, darling.
And there's new awards for the Mardi Gras this year. Apart from just having best out of town float, they're now having best international, best regional, and best capital city. So more people are going to have a chance to win awards for their floats this year.
Brilliant. Friends of Don Dunstan. This is an amazingly brilliant float, isn't it?
Bless him.
They're dressed as they are to celebrate Don Dunstan wearing his pink safari suit into Adelaide State Parliament in 1973. Bringing to Mardi Gras an affectionate commemoration of the dignity and hope that Don brought to gay people all over this country.
She's been wearing pink safari suits for years.
We've got exactly. We've got a fax from Don. We've got faxes from all over the place. Two Tonys here. We've got a fax from Don Dunstan. My best wishes to all for a happy celebration for the gay and lesbian community and its friends. Mardi Gras in Sydney has won international recognition as a great occasion of fun and enjoyment for the community and the public. I wish I could be there with you, but I would ask that in addition to having fun, you keep up the struggle for true equality of treatment. There's an old Whitlamite talking, isn't it?
It certainly is. Good to hear from him again.
Good on you, Don. Gone, but not forgotten. Tony Lamont, this is something that you picked up on. This float is called Homophobia. What are you scared of? Isn't that interesting? Now, this is a terribly important group.
That's what I'm saying.
The Anti-Violence Project. The Anti-Violence Project, who was set up in 1991. They're recognised as leaders in crime prevention. Let's go down to Maynard.
I'm here with the Lemon Lesbian Avengers. We've got Tracy and Andrew. Hi, girls. How are you?
Hi, fantastic.
Not a very good lesbian, Andrew.
No, I'm not, but I'm passing for tonight.
How'd you get in here?
Well, you know, it's one of those great floats that's open to all people, gays, straight, boys, girls, everything, Maynard.
And what does the lesbian superhero fight for?
Truth, justice, and the lesbian way.
See you later. Hey, can I borrow it? Can I have your skirt when you finish with
my
it?
skirt on Monday.
Hey, lucky me.
Oh, God, can you believe it too? Sponsored by the people who make lemon rusky.
Ooh, very popular drink.
Very popular drink. Oh, my Lord.
Catching on being.
Totally.
Not much popular still.
Oh, it's popular still. What have we got? Oh, there they are.
Do you think Genevieve Lemon is a lemon avenger?
She might be, you know.
She
We'll
might
have
be
to
in there
ask
somewhere.
Genevieve
I think
that.
we will.
One of our leading musical comedy stars. Isn't he quick with the lines? Oh, Lord. Can you imagine, I mean, we've all had to do choreography in shows, kids. Can you imagine having to do the same routine about 100 times as you're walking up a hill?
Oh, my God, in heels.
In heels?
I mean, it's Ginger Rogers' revenge,
I'm
isn't
glad I'm not there.
Tropical
I
fruits,
didn't
kids.
want to walk up the
Who
hill.
wants to?
No.
Tropical fruits have got to, though, from the northern rivers.
Yeah.
It's a group, a social group from the northern rivers. Well, my friends up there on the north coast.
It's wonderful that a lot of the floats have come out of just friends and groups just sitting together over a coffee and suddenly going, let's do this, you know, which is a marvellous thing, yes.
And that's
I would like to have had shares in the glitter thing.
Definitely.
Yes.
Also,
I wish I'd called my share broker and said, buy shares in glitter.
Buy glitter. Don't sell lycra just yet. Keep buying lycra on top of that.
Shares in glitter.
Pom-poms. We've got some cheerleaders here.
Pom-poms are pretty good. They know that they're on the share market.
The cheerleaders. Here they are. Oh, these group were the very popular Mickeys last year. They decided to do the Rydell theme. Rydell High, as it's the 20th anniversary of Greece this year, which of course Danny's in.
Going to be doing.
Danny's doing the arena tour. This again, as Tony Sheldon said, is a group of friends who love getting together and having fun. 30 men and women dressed as Rydell High cheerleaders with pom-poms. Look at me, I'm Sandra Dee.
Have they had the chimney sweep from Mary Poppins on the air? The Dick Van Dyke's on both. Oh, I missed them.
Absolutely brilliant.
Oh, rats.
You just have to watch the broadcast.
I'll just have to watch the broadcast.
Let's go down to Maynard.
Oh, we're here with our MAME entrance, and I don't mean MAME as in hurt yourself, I mean MAME as in the musical. Why is MAME such a big thing for you?
Oh, because she's just such a fabulous person. She's always partying, she's always out all the time, and just celebrates all the time, which is what we want to do, and that's what we're here tonight.
And if Lucille Ball was here, she'd be in this parade, wouldn't she?
Exactly, yep, she'd be on that float in front of us.
Okay, see you
Thanks,
later.
have a good night.
MAME!
Bye!
Look at that. Well, I'm very appropriate here because I'm with two of Australia's leading show queens.
Yeah.
Tony Lamont and Tony Sheldon.
True. This is absolutely
And in
true.
fact, I make three.
You're absolutely right.
Let's go back down to Maynard. He's a busy boy.
This is my idea of a costume. No mucking around with making stuff. How long did it take to make your costume?
Half an hour.
Half an hour, and you're happy?
Yep, I'm really happy. I'm engaged.
He's happy, he's gay. Say it loud, say it proud.
How long did we say it took? That long, half an hour.
Half an hour.
That long.
I thought
The Sydney
10
Sun Boys.
minutes tops.
10 minutes top.
Absolutely.
Even less on the bottom.
How long does it take to put a rubber band on a hanky?
Absolutely. What did Graham Kennedy used to say? A strapless evening. No, a gownless
evening strap.
A gownless evening strap. Oh man, I was there with the Sydney Sun Boys. They're promoting and celebrating, gay nudism.
Ah, not that you noticed.
Look out, not that you'd noticed.
Sunbeds have got to work out.
Tony Lamont, here's an important group. Amnesty International, defending our right to love. Amnesty's been campaigning against human rights violence based on sexuality since the mid-1980s, and this is Amnesty's second time in the Mardi Gras. 70s and beyond, this is Vic Presence. Vic Presence. People that have come from Melbourne. People that have come from Melbourne, a marching group of 60 to 80 people. Do you think they marched all the way?
Does Jeff Kennett know about this?
I think they asked Jeff permission before they went to this.
And is he going to try to get this brought to Victoria next year?
Going for the Mardi Gras. Maybe
Jeff
that's what they tell you the
probably, because Jeff and Bob are having a neck-to-neck thing.
Aren't they? They're trying to get the footy, they're trying to get the Brownlow.
He might try to get it next year. So next year they might be marching down St Kilda.
The Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras.
Watch this space.
Watch this space, kids. Well, they certainly, this lot would certainly like to see it happen because, as Tony Shelton said, did they march from Melbourne up the Hume Highway with a stop at Goulburn? The big sheep.
Yes, did. The big merino.
Oh, what can I say? Tony Lamont, Tony Sheldon, a mother and her son here having a great time. The fireworks are going, it's going off. Stick around because we'll be back.
Bob, we're thrilled.
It's
been an honour.
You're show queen. Shut up.
It's been an absolute honour.
Oh.
What can I say?
Stop it.
Bye.
Oh, continuing with the 20th anniversary Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras Parade. Have a look at that. A special guest now, last but not least, is mine Presidente, Bev Lang, the president of Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras.
How are you?
How are you, darling? Happy Mardi Gras?
Happy Mardi Gras to you.
How's it feeling?
A lot more relieved than when I was a couple of hours ago.
You have pulled it together, girl.
Well, yeah, and a very, very good team, fortunately.
A record amount of floats, whiz them through in a record amount of time. Let's go down to Maynard. He's been working hard too.
I'm here with Carly from Access One. Carly, you're walking in front of hundreds and thousands of people tonight. What does Mardi Gras mean to you?
It's a fabulous celebration of our sexuality, and it's a political statement, and it's the first time people are gay, lesbian, bisexual and transgender with a disability have marched together, and it's fabulous.
Great. Congratulations. Thank you, Carly.
She's an extraordinary woman. She's an artist.
Yeah.
And just an extraordinary artist.
Wow. How do you feel? Do you feel all the things that you wanted to get across are getting across loud and clear?
Yeah, I think they are, and I think that the spirit of the crowd has been fantastic as well tonight. I've been on the parade route quite a bit tonight, and it's just wonderful.
Mixed in with a lot of relief that the rain all happened last night and not tonight. Look at this. Labor supporters forming their own
political parties in tonight. That's fantastic.
We have. In fact, speaking of Labor supporters, we've got a message from Bob Carr, the Premier of New South Wales. Mardi Gras is a Sydney institution. It has an international reputation. Sydney is a city of diversity. Indeed, it embraces diversity as one of its greatest strengths. Bono was saying the same thing. That's what Mardi Gras is all about. To everyone involved, congratulations. This is your big night, a celebration of how far the gay and lesbian community has come since '78 and how far Sydney has come in accepting diversity. Tonight, Sydney celebrates. That's how he would say it, wouldn't he? Happy Mardi Gras.
Say
That's how Bob would say it.
It's great to have one of our political leaders showing that sort of direction.
Look at that costume. It's about awareness, it's about political activism, it's about remembering HIV and AIDS. It's also about a darn fabulous frock or two.
It sure is, and I mean it's also about celebrating the, I guess, the change in the community in the last 20 years. I think that Australia as a whole is much more accepting of difference. And I guess that's what everyone's been talking about tonight, but I think it's really important.
Let's go down to Vanessa.
This lassie has used every shade in the colour wheel. What is your name?
Fletcher.
Fletcher who?
Fletcher Jet Spray.
Fletcher Jet Spray. And your outfit is full of 3D things, baubles, fake eyes, feathers, wrapping, you name it, you've used it. What inspired you for this outfit?
Butterfly and silver.
So nature and technology. What a fantastic combination. Have a gorgeous Mardi Gras.
Thanks, darling.
Ciao, Rooney. What colour?
The flame flowers. I think they're pretty well self-explanatory, aren't they? We've got a lot of faxes, Bev. You read one. Who's it from?
I've got one from Indira Naidu. It seems like a bit of a telethon, really, doesn't it?
It is like a telethon.
From SBS TV, Indira says, party till it drops off. Happy 20th.
And I've got one from Molly Meldrum. Congratulations on your 20th anniversary. You have enriched Australia with a better tolerance and understanding. Molly Meldrum.
Oh, well,
to
thank
all
you,
the
Molly.
family. And last but not least,
Helen Reddy.
Helen Reddy.
Congratulations on the 20th anniversary of Sydney's Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras Parade. Wish I could be there, Helen Reddy.
She is Helen, hear her roar. The family have been well represented this evening. Haven't they? Jodie Sheldon. Well, we like to keep it in the family with Minogue. I was kind of hoping Carly and Danny might be together, like it'd be in a Minogue sandwich. Yeah, today, no.
These guys have got the swinginest togas in the entire parade. Why the Latin thing? Quiz ask, what's the Roman thing going on at Combe du?
Well, we thought because of the 20 years we'd go for something with a bit of strength and a bit of stamina over the years, being a lot, something from the ages of early BC with the Galilee gladiators and all that sort of style. The Trojan horse was just basically to help highlight the fact to the large audiences.
Thank you, Caveat emptor.
See ya.
Travel. Galtaz.
They're a fantastic organisation. They represent students, school students and teachers that are gay and lesbian, and they do a lot of good work.
Yeah.
A lot of support work.
It was started by a high school student who suffered through school from homophobic abuse. When she turned 18, she went to Derek Williams and suggested setting up a Gay and Lesbian Student and Teachers Association. The main aim is to stop school-based homophobia and violence.
And there's too much of it around still, unfortunately. We'd like to...
It's one thing that hasn't seemed to have stopped. Sweeties of the Sea.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, their 6th year in the parade. They covered the South Coast area all the way up to and including the Sydney suburbs. Fantastic. It's amazing the work that's done by these volunteer groups.
I know a lot of them come into the Mardi Gras workshop and...
Is that how they get to make these things? Do you give them help with it?
They come in with some ideas, and our workshop artists workshop the idea and they come up with this. They come and use our facilities and...
You give them a pot of paint and some sequences. They go to it, kids.
Absolutely.
Let's go back down to Vanessa.
We've finally caught the Mountie. Now, I heard that you haven't been wearing sensible heels. You're wearing something very high and sexy, aren't you?
Very high and sexy. This year's the highest, love. Open-toed, the only way to go.
Open-toed shoes. What's it like to be one of the only people from Canada in this stunning event?
What was that again, love? Why?
Well, what's it like to be in Australia from Canada?
I wouldn't miss it for the world, love. I've been coming for 20 years.
Oh, look, from colony to colony. Ciao, darling, looking resplendent in all that military gear with a slightly feminine touch.
Vanessa, keeping our Commonwealth links strong.
Clearly a person who likes a man in uniform.
Isn't it? Oh, what about this one, Bev? What can you tell us about the quiz?
8 feathers.
The 8 feathers.
Is that a little set-up of that film?
Yes. Oh, they've got GT stripes, they've got flames. This is the Charles Sturt Uni Queer Collective, a tongue-in-cheek look at the Bathurst car races. The cars that ate Paris is their reference point. Oh, the next one, Bev, too. Love is perfectly natural.
Well, that's what we're here to say.
Absolutely. An entry about the garden of love and that homosexual love is perfectly natural, as the 78ers were all about.
Well, maybe we'll get our same-sex relationships recognised.
That's what this is all about, isn't it? This is one of the most important themes of this year's parade, isn't it?
It is.
What exactly are we seeking here?
Well, we just want the government to legally recognise our relationships, and that has lots of different spin-offs, superannuation, to being able to adopt children and all sorts of various issues.
And maybe leave the house to someone that we'd like it to go to.
Well, that'd be good too.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes, that would be nice.
I don't know how you can be more camp than Fractured Fairy Tales. There's nothing much you can do with it. The big book pushed up the street. Fractured, poof, the magic dragon. The knight in
Nothing is safer, is there?
the knight in very shining armour, and the damsel in Dizdred, red, the little hood. Cinder, oh, I won't even say that one. The wolf in Flut's clothing. Gaviation. Tell us about Gaviation.
They're a group of gay and lesbian employees from Qantas, and last year they did a big jumbo jet in the parade route, showing us the emergency procedures that you get when you hop on a plane. And I think this year they're doing something a little more close to a control tower.
Absolutely. Bring us in.
You can see those little beacon things. I think that's what it's about.
That's what they're about. Bringing us in for a safe landing.
And we do like that.
As you can see, I'm here with the Gaviation boys, made up from flight attendants from all around the world. They won Best Float last year. Tell me, what are you serving up tonight?
Oh, we're serving a beefcake and chicken. More chicken than beef, though. As always, on Gaviation Airlines, we're like the lost generation that the airlines have forgotten. We're the ones that got them the good reputation they've got. Happy Mardi Gras!
I'll see you in first class later.
I specialise in upper deck myself. Thank you, mate.
Well, there's a definite upgrade situation happening there.
I think so.
Is there a lot of thought that goes into pacing out the big floats and among the street stuff? I mean, obviously you've got to think pretty carefully about how you're going to pace it.
Yeah, the parade committee works long and hard about, making sure there's a balance of big floats and lots of community entries so that people can see their message and that the parade looks good.
Wow, who have we here? Who do we just get a glimpse of then?
I think we just got a little glimpse of the Zenas.
The Zenas?
122 marching girls.
The warrior princesses. Now, could you explain the Xena phenomenon?
Oh, look, I think Zena's become a bit of an icon with the lesbian communities.
A dyke icon?
A dyke icon,
A dicon.
Yeah. A dicon.
She's a dicon.
Just due to her extraordinary power and strength.
No matter what century she's in, we love her.
We do.
Maynard, where are you?
Oh, this is by far the most popular entry so far, proving that sex and violence do go together. The marching Zenas. Why does Zena make you go off?
Because she's so strong, she's so butch, and she's out there, she's still feminine. Great icon, fabulous.
Just like the girls themselves. Power on! Power on! Power on!
Bev Lang, president of Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras. We've got a fact from the woman herself, Lucy Lawless.
Oh,
I'm so terribly disappointed not to be with you all tonight, but the rigours of filming often nixes one's social life. Boo hiss. So I wish you all a safe and glittering evening of fun and spectacle, especially those 120 marching Zenas. On behalf of all your friends here in New Zealand, have a joyous Mardi Gras. Lucy Lawless, Zena, warrior friend. Look at this, it's the Von Traps. Sound of Music.
It's been a bit of a favourite for
From Xena to Sound of Music, we're talking...
Jump across, don't we?
But we're talking the same level of appeal. What is it about the Sound of Music, do you think?
We love a good musical. Good
we
story.
love a good musical.
Yep.
High on a hill, sort of lonely go-to. And it is an excuse to dress up as a nun, let's face it.
It is. And Julie Andrews was very popular as well with the gay and lesbian community.
Were you the sort of kid who climbed a tree and scraped her knee and your dress had got a tear?
No, I probably wasn't. No.
I was a shocker.
I'm ashamed to say I don't think I've ever seen the Sound of Music all the way through. I know.
Never, no, that can't be true. I'm a bit like that. I've never seen Saturday Night Fever or Grease. It's a shocking thing to have to admit among your gay and lesbian friends, isn't it?
It is.
You bluff it through?
I do.
You do, you've got to bluff it through, don't you?
You can't reveal those sorts of things.
A lot of ancient Rome, a lot of harem action, a lot of Middle East Arabian Nights.
Very classic sort of community, you think?
It's classical, and it's, let's face it, you can do a lot with a bit of draped fabric on the back of it. The magic marching flag.
And there were sort of very revealing styles of dress in those times as well.
Everybody looks good in a toga.
Yeah.
Do you know about the marching full flags? Again, trying to accommodate how many people want to march. Victorian Follies. There's a lot of people up from Melbourne. I hope the last one out of Melbourne turned off the light there. They haven't stopped dancing yet.
People from Auckland, I suppose, didn't have to. The lights were already turned off.
Absolutely, well, exactly. It's a gay and lesbian group formed to promote friendship through dancing. They're a new troupe, but they're already making it big in Melbourne. They opened Melbourne's Midsummer Street Party. I was there for that. Brilliant. A fantastic street party.
I went down for their carnival, actually. Have you been down there for their carnival?
Midsummer, it's happening.
Yeah, it
The
is.
Gay and Lesbian Festival down in Melbourne. Let's go down to Maynard.
And here they are marching for the second time, the Victorian Follies. It hasn't been a folly for you tonight. It's been great, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely fantastic. This is the biggest time you could ever have. Happy Mardi Gras.
Happy Mardi Gras to you. That's a lovely costume there, too.
Very much. It's gorgeous.
Dance the night away, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Northside.
Dancing all the way from Victoria.
80 to 90 people. It doesn't look good from up here too, Bev. We're high atop. We should say where we are. We're high atop Cafe 191 in the canteen.
We are.
Restaurant and bar.
Very special canteen.
The Roaring Twenties, a celebration of 1920 style cabaret nightclub. Oh, this is all our Sydney drag stars. Mogadonna. Who else can we see there? Maud Boat. Chelsea Barnes, Ashley Swift, Teth Tickle, and Polly, the legendary Polly. There
What would
they
our
are.
community be without them? They're wonderful.
Where would our community be without our drag entertainers and personalities?
They raise lots of funds for those living with HIV/AIDS. They're fantastic.
And boy, do they know how to put on a show. The drag
It's a
tradition
very
in
big
Sydney.
flow.
The drag tradition in Sydney is about twice as old as Mardi Gras itself.
It is indeed.
Got some mildly performing with some of these queens. I used to work with the show bags at the Albury. Cindy Pastel, Pat Jetley, Miss 3D. And they're the queens that Priscilla was sort of inspired by and based on.
They were, yeah. I mean, just so many things have, I suppose, sprouted from the sort of older gay and lesbian culture, drag queens, performance pieces.
This is the bit that...
Can't be, surely.
Coming up the rear again. That's the name of this float. That's the name of this float. Do you know, you read something like that and you suddenly realise the implications, don't you?
You have to be careful.
Coming up the rear again. That's the bit that... What an evening. Bev, what an evening.
It's over.
It's been fantastic,
It's been
hasn't it?
wonderful.
Let's go down to Maynard and Vanessa.
Oh, what do those letters say behind us, Maynard?
The end. That's it. It's a wrap.
It can't be a wrap.
It can't be over, but it is.
Why? Does it have to stop?
The end.
The madness.
Oh, it has to stop eventually, but don't worry. There's a party for us to go to with your name written on it.
Oh, thank God for that.
Let's go, Vanessa. But let's dance first while the music still plays.
Thanks, Maynard. Thanks, Vanessa. They just don't want it to stop, do they, Bev?
No, they don't.
Oh, President Bev Lang, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Bob.
You've had a busy night, haven't we
have.
all?
Indeed.
Thanks to all of our guests. Well, what an evening it's been. Fantastic, hasn't it? We've just watched the 21st parade, so congratulations to all this gay and lesbian community for an event that's really come of age, I guess. Good night.
Look Night